I hope the rest of the associations in Barcelona, they wouldn't change the vision why they started this, because we didn't started this just to make a quick money.
Hi babes, Lady Silverstone here, and welcome to my podcast, where we're trying to demystify cannabis, one conversation at a time. In this episode, we're talking about how to own a cannabis club in Barcelona, the importance of consistency in our projects, and developing a community with our guest today. She's the successful owner of a beautiful and classy cannabis club and community in Barcelona called The Green Boutique. She organizes fancy events for the members and has a unique approach to the cause. I personally think she's one of the most luxurious and driven cannabis professional enthusiasts in the continent. Let's welcome Yeva. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, darling.
Hey, doll. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining my podcast. So where are you? You're sitting like under the sun in a beautiful place.
I'm actually in this very wonderful place, 20 minutes outside Barcelona. It's called the Garraf, and is a seaside. It's a wonderful seaside place where today we are celebrating our dear friend's birthday in the middle of the week. So for me, actually, it's a privilege and actually a luxury to get away from all the daily errands. But, basically, I'm multitasking. As I mentioned before, that's the day, what is brought to me. And so the birthday and talking to you today is, wonderful pleasure. 20 minutes away from Barcelona is a wonderful place, Garraf. I do recommend everybody to visit this for the day or the family trip day, or even for the couples. Is a wonderful, wonderful beach, beautiful food, and obviously the sun is guaranteed. So it's always the plan.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And also, like, so you managed to like do some work at the same time?
Some days there's some tasks or challenges that not requires for me to be present. So I can do that from any spot in the world. So that's today. This is today.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. We're lucky in that way.
Yes, we are. Indeed, we are. And that's the privilege. And that's the privilege to run your own business when you can allocate your time and resources according to your needs and according to the situation. So that's that.
Yeah, I will actually ask you more about that, but I'm gonna actually let you make a little introduction of yourself, and then also if you've always been working by yourself or if you've been an employee before and then you switched. And I would love to hear the whole story about you.
Okay. Well, first of all, my name is Yeva Bukovska, and I am originally from Lithuania, from the city Kaunas. My story run to short is once I finished the high school, I moved into London to pursue my further education in there. And the life sorted itself out that I finished the college and the university, and my background is in international business management. Prior to the cannabis business and Spain, I've been involved in actually financial world, super cool financial world in London, but it's been on the corporate side. I left that side of the business for good. The way the life evolved, I do not believe in those values, and I do not see myself anymore in those kind of waters, if you like. And cannabis become part of my life. There was a reason for it, and I love what I came up to up till now, and what goals I achieved and what visions, and I'm still pursuing it. I will never stop. There's never going to be enough for me. There's never going to be stop. So the background comes from the international business management, where it takes a lot of marketing, a lot of components to become of the person who is in charge of the business management, just as a word, you know. So it's not something that a lot of people choose in some careers or something, and they're doing that only for the money because it pays the bills and stuff. For me, that was a big drive at the beginning, because the financials is the tool, it gives us the freedom, it gives us the opportunities, it gives us the choices in life, right? Because this is the buying power, people buying things financially. But then on another hand, I believe in the balance, and I'm so blessed and actually privileged to have that in my life, that I have a choice and the balance in between, that I only can turn around and look at myself, that I made these decisions in life without any other interference, because that's only me who can decide such a things, regardless that I done some decisions for some financials or for some, the rewards that I only seen it at that time beneficial for me. But now being where I am now and how I am now, I think this is a great combination and a great decisions when I look back what I made. So saying that, to get back to the first education and then experience in the corporate world, gave me the very different perspectives, actually, what I am seeing today. But that is a part of the road. That's part of the journey. People talks about the destinations. Yes, I love the destination as a set of goal, that I see where I'm going, I see what I'm aiming at. But the journey, for me, the journey counts is best.
Oh yeah.
Because in the journey, I collect so many valuable experiences. I meet so many great people. I live, I experience, I learn. Most of all, I learn. And that learning, it's a lifetime. For me, the learning is all about your self-development. That's the way I see the learning. Without the mistakes, people saying there's a mistakes. For me, there's no mistakes. There's a lessons which we choose, and I'm particularly choose to learn from it or leave it and repeat it again, because none of us are kind of protected from it. So yes, so on those kind of basis, the life that it brought me until today, it's accountable. And we are the ones who are in charge of that. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. So like, you were living then in London for how many years?
For 15 years. I mean, Britain in generally, it's very close to my heart. And I really adopted and obviously inherited some of the culture, some of the things that I grow up with. But the life turned out, and I made the decisions to change my things, turn around for something that I seen it, what I needed at that time. So the 15 years of the wonderful experiences, of the wonderful learning, of the wonderful journey that it leads me until today. That's it. And London particularly is very close to my heart until today. I do go there very frequently because obviously when you spend somewhere 15 years, it becomes part of your life.
Of course. And especially when it's your adult life,
Exactly. So I had the pleasure of evolving in London, if you know what I mean. I had the pleasure of growing into who I am today. So London is always going to be a very big part of my life as a city, as a country itself.
Okay, so did you move directly from London to Barcelona, or did you move somewhere in between?
I had a little stop back in the Lithuania because the personal circumstances brought me back home. I'm not going to evolve on that too much. And at that time, in between of these movings and the decisions, which was crucial in my life, I met my current husband, that I have a wonderful daughter. She's 4 years old. She's born in Rotterdam in Netherlands. So that's how we end up. We end up in Rotterdam, and we spend there the whole year before we are moving to Spain. And Carla's born there, and we already had a very clear plan what we're going to do in Spain. And we just needed to figure out how we're going to do it. And that's how we did.
Did you like living in Rotterdam? Because I really me and my husband, we were thinking that like, if we ever go back from Bali, where we were living before, we will live in Holland. But then we realized when we got back here, we're like, oh no, it's too cold living in Netherlands. Holland is awesome though.
It's amazing. I love the Dutch culture as itself. The country runs pretty smoothly as well. And to become a mother for the first time and not having the mothers or grandmothers or uncles and the aunties around to help you with a newborn baby while you just have your husband, they helped me immensely. The system runs very, very well. What I'm experiencing, I just can't speak only from my experiences, which I do all the time. And I cannot generalize too much because some people have a bad experience, some people have a good experience. But from what I can say, the country runs it itself very, very well. And I had a wonderful time. And I always go back with my smile it's very close to my heart as well because of the special place my daughter is being born. But yes, I would recommend anyone to experience Dutch culture, Dutch city life. We are city people. We never lived in any countrysides. I do go horse riding or spa treatment, some kind of places get away for the weekend. But we're both, me and my husband, very city people, which are very happy to come back to. So yes, Rotterdam and the Holland itself, because we did that sometimes to travel around a little bit to see the different places and different, to try different foods. I love food. And it's lovely. The Netherlands are a lovely country itself, for sure.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so then you moved to Barcelona a year after, and the Green Boutique was born right away, or tell us how you started that. Was it already an idea, like you said, from Holland, or did it come when you moved?
The Green Boutique has been in our minds for about 3 years before that. But once we came in and moved to Spain, the Green Boutique is not the first project we done it.
Okay.
So we opened the first cannabis association in very different area where the Green Boutique is. So we started, I would say, like a journey from the block, if you can let me to express this. We started in very, I would say, extremely challenging way. Because the area, I don't want too much to dwell a lot about, the project we done, etc. But from the experience, we had the idea why we come for, but the Green Boutique was already in the mind because it's a very unique and delicate kind of concept. That we joined the forces between the cannabis fashion, interior design, and all many other elements. Is not just a place to smoke, is much more. But going back to your question, yes, we came in with the idea to get ourselves involved and particularly to open such establishment because Spain is one of those countries in the Europe and in the center of Europe in the cannabis industry with many, many prospects and many, many opportunities. And there was a lot of risk involved. Cannabis industry, as you know yourself, there's so many extra calculated or not calculated risks. But for us, wasn't enough to stop. We was determined to achieve the things the way we saw it. And that's exactly what we did. So the Green Boutique was always in my mind, always in the kind of coloring picture, if you like. I've been constructing the Green Boutique for many years.
Oh, I can imagine, in your head, you had the visuals already for years. So just for the listeners, it's a beautiful, beautiful place that looks a little bit like a speakeasy bar from the 20s, a little bit Great Gatsby, Yeah, it's a little bit like that. It's gorgeous. So if you're listening to this now, go in and check the Instagram to check it out because it's really, really nice. And I can't wait to go there.
I would like you to experience it not only from the cannabis perspective, because we can consume marijuana in many, many places these days. But the Green Boutique concept it's more to that. It's an experience. So that's one of the characteristics that place has is the experience. It's not only just a product.
Yeah, would you say that it's an experience of a classic cannabis experience or classic cannabis lifestyle? Because as you say, there's so many different things you can experience. It's not only the weed itself because there's so many clubs for it, but yours is really, really specific in the lifestyle it wants to show.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. You're very right. You touched on the thing that actually that was a starter engine for me, the lifestyle. Okay, I do consume cannabis myself. We can talk a little bit later about that. And the experience you get in the Green Boutique is the conjunction with the lifestyle you're living. So the way I think, and my husband is very, very similar views. We have a very obviously different roles in the Green Boutique. We have a very amazing team, and we work around it. So what he does it alone, and what I do alone, and then we merge together. So that's kind of pretty powerful. I think the junction that we can come up with, and the lifestyle for both of us, it involves the cannabis, and the way we see it, we want to translate that to our audience. And touching on that point, there's a 240 licensed cannabis associations in Barcelona, which every single of them has a very, very different and particular style or approach or philosophy behind. So there is no association of cannabis in Barcelona that is the same. There is no same associations in Barcelona. There are many different profiles. There are many different portraits, the way they want to translate whatever the vision of them they are. Some people, and there is audiences, right? So the Green Boutique, we not saying this. So, hey, we open something, something what we are believing, and this is for you. No, this is the choice. This is the choice we're choosing in life, in our lifestyle, in our food preferences, in our fashion sense is the same. So our audience is very, very similar. We are sharing very similar views. We are sharing similar values, what we are trying to show and what we're trying to translate to the people.
So I saw actually on your stories that sometimes you had small canapes and like some food. Do you serve that at your place, or like is it like specific days that you come and they have? Because that I know it's here.
Yes, of course. It's a wonderful compliment. During our and myself experience in life, and my experience with the family, we travel pretty frequently. The places we visit and the prices we prepare to pay, I'm not saying that everything what is expensive is good, but what I'm saying, the quality has the price. That's only what I can say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The compliments what we are gladly to give to our members and our people. Those are little things that makes a big difference. Because, for example, if I'm going to private members club, let's say in New York, okay, in terms of the hospitality, at the moment I'm sitting in the private members club in Garraf. This is a wonderful Soho House hotel that works exactly the same function as we are created. This is private members club that is got only the benefits that I can receive being a member. The people from the street, they cannot come in here, right? So touching back on the compliments, there's a very, very beautiful and nice way to show appreciation. Why we're here, what are we doing? And we do value our members because that's the part of the journey, right? And from the business context, from the humanity, from many aspects you can look at, this is very, very important side and important part for me as a person and the businesswoman. So the all this little cannabis and we serve a complimentary breakfast to our members, for example. And in the evenings, we have a downtown service, as we call it in the hotel. We complement with the evening snack. So one day can be one thing, another day, another thing.
Oh, that's lovely.
So it's never the same and it's never boring. That's what I found. Many things in life can be boring.
Yes.
So yes, so we try to keep it fresh. We try to keep it very, very attractive. And I always say to myself and to my audience that I would never expect a less than I expect for myself. So whatever we do in the Green Boutique, whatever I come up with, or whatever we as a team do in the business wise, we always come from the perspective what we would like to receive, what we would like to do. Because in the business, as you can imagine, there's so many pros and cons. There's a financial cost involved. There's many responsibilities involved. There's so many. But the end result, it always comes from the humanity side. For me, I never done the business with anything else apart of my feeling and my will to give.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple.
That's how you get the, let's say, the clients that, not say that you want, but a clientele that they will all want the same thing, and they will all have these, they know that paying this, they also know what they're going to get, and they want that lifestyle. And this is for them. This is how they find themselves. Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I'm touching on back, what I mentioned earlier about the quality cost. I'm not saying once again that everything what is premium is good. No. I can argue that until tomorrow for sure, and I got pretty good arguments about that. But the quality has a price, and we're not going any further with that because it's just how it is. So if you're prepared and if you are available to accommodate certain finances for certain things, and if you're not getting what are you paying for, or you're getting less, or you don't feel appreciated, that's very darn down side in the business for me, and is a big no for us as an association, as a community, as individuals, because people makes a business, not the business makes people, right?
Totally. Sorry for interrupting. I hope you enjoy listening so far. Please check out my account Lady Silverstone at patreon.com so I can continue creating cannabis content for you. Just so people know, like now while they're listening, like what is the function and the specific of having a cannabis social club? Like what actually is it in the terms of like legality and in Spain, what is a cannabis social club?
Cannabis social club is being portrayed in the eyes of the law as the private members club to consume marijuana indoors. Legally, we cannot dispense the substance and take it outside and smoke in your home. There's many perks, and there's still many gray areas that this country's government still figure around, because we are going towards the full legalization and taxation. We will pay 21% to Catalonia's government of our proceedings. But for now, there is a lot of regulations which is actually not in our favor. And obviously, we are advised, and we are working with the close legal teams to give us insights, to recommend us. This is not something that you just sit down. I have some capital and I want to open the cannabis club. It doesn't work like that. There's much more behind it. There's much more. We're starting from the licensing. We're starting from the requirements to do the construction inside, interior, according the requirements of the Catalonia's law. The Catalonian law and the Spanish law, they are different. So, for example, the cannabis club in Marbella is got different requirements than cannabis club in Catalonia. So let's be clear on that, because some things, the way they operate and the way they work in south of the Spain, it doesn't exist in here, or vice versa. So there's many challenges to take on from the licensing point for the reconstruction and meeting all the needed criteria, because we do expect the inspections, the kind of city hall visits, all those kind of things that is being documented, and we need those stamps to move forward. So there's many challenges, but you cannot achieve that alone. You do need to have pretty good teams around you to specialize in those kind of things, because as much as I love idea doing everything myself, I cannot do everything myself, and none of us should. None of us should, because once you do something where is your specialty, you need to focus on that. Same as in our team. And my husband has one function and I have another function, and we have a wonderful members of our team who does third or fourth function. So this is the teamwork. But going back to your question, yes, from the licensing to the construction to the meeting all the criteria of the interior is essential to open the cannabis club.
Yeah. So how, for example, like the start of it, like how do you need, for example, to be a Spanish residence to open one, or is it okay with just a NIE?
No, there is no requirement for you to have a Spanish nationality or residency. But once you go on the board, because there is a board committee for the licenses, so you have a president, and then you have a accountant, and then you have a secretary. So those three those crucial persons on the board, they need to have a Spanish residency, not at least the NIE documentation that you're already a resident in this country. But you can be from the America, from the other parts of Europe, etc. But you need to get involved in the country. You need to some kind of settlement, if you like. You need to have a address. You need to have a NIE. You need to have a tax number as a NIE, and all those kind of things.
Do you start an organization kind of thing, or do you start a company? Like, how is it there in the beginning? As you have a board, you said.
Sure, the board. The board includes and consists of three most important people for the Cannabis Association. So, as I mentioned, the president, the secretary, and the accountant. So, this kind of three people, they go on the board and they approve the city hall approves for the licensing for the cannabis club. From the type of organization perspective, the cannabis club in Catalonia is still non-profit organization. In the tax office, in the law eye, and all those kind of organizations. So we're still non-profit organizations, which is, I cannot wait for that title to change to limited company or something like that, because there are so many gray areas that we still need to go around it, and it's really, really uncomfortable, I have to say. Really uncomfortable, because there's so many things involved that you really need to be advised very, very carefully, because there is a law and there is a cannabis, and you know the story. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But for today, we are still portrayed as a non-profit organization. So we are not classed as the company, limited or public company, etc. But my prayers are with this. I am aiming and I'm really believing that this status will change, because there are so many positive things that happened past, I would say, 6 months. And obviously what we experienced within quarantine and with all this global situation, Catalonian government are making really smart and hopefully beneficial moves sometime soon.
Okay, cool. So let's say that it changes. Let's say it changes towards like a legalization. You can now start taxing it, and you can now start to, let's say, make a profit, and you can work as a normal company, let's say. Like, what is your vision then? Like, within the cannabis business, will you continue with the Green Boutique? Will you maybe make that bigger, or maybe do something else?
It will be wonderful. I cannot wait for that day.
Yes.
Yes. Of course. The Green Boutique doesn't exist because it's a non-profit organization, and we do things behind the curtain. The idea with the cannabis, and our idea, and I'm sure hopefully 240 associations in Barcelona would agree with me on this point, because that's extra huge and massively important step towards the real things in cannabis. Because we are not joking in here. We're not. We didn't come up with this idea just to make a quick black money and go to the sunset. No. The cannabis industry is much, much bigger and more valuable than people think these days. But there's a lot of risks involved, and that's why people are really shady. Excuse me if I can use this word around. But the Green Boutique, and I hope the rest of the associations in Barcelona, they wouldn't change their the vision why they started this, because we didn't started this just to make a quick black money. We started with much more philosophy, what we want to achieve with this, because the cannabis these days, they are being used, it's not the days that 10 years ago in the Amsterdam, I want to get high off my head. It's nothing like that these days. There is a big pharmaceutical companies involved, which is, we cannot get involved in that too much at that moment. But I'm talking about the labs. I'm talking about the facilities that you can actually show me what are you about to use, and you can clarify. And there's a lot of things involved to make it perfect. So no, Green Boutique is not going to close when we need to pay 21% to this country government, which we're going to be very happily to do that. But let us grow, let us evolve even more, let us educate, because education is the key. Education is a power. Without education, this is a very, very small percentage of people who actually survives in this industry. Because without education and without very clear ideas or the clear visions, I don't think it's possible. So I cannot wait. I'm very thrilled. I'm very thrilled about this. I cannot wait to see the new beginning, as I call it. Will be wonderful.
And you having a lot of events, right? I mean, since I started, since we got in contact, you've been having a lot of events, which is super nice. And that's what the whole Cannabis Social Club is about, right? Like having events, be with the members and so on. So like, what is it usually that usually do you focus on the events?
This is our part of the agenda. The events, this is one of the actual drives for the Green Boutique and within the Green Boutique, because we focusing on the events through obviously the main aim is the education. So either it can be the art, either it can be the music, it can be the new products. I'm really into development part. So I really want to see what is out there that I would like to know, and I would like to learn, and I would like to give to our audience, to our members. So our events, all of them based on the education. So through the presentations of the new product, or something came to the market new, or some technology developed, or something happened. The music is always been part of our lives, particularly mine. And I do see the little bit being the female in the cannabis. I'm not going to dwell too much on this, being a female in the cannabis industry, because there's things we can talk until tomorrow. But what I'm going to say in the nutshell, that being a female in this, I would say still pretty male-dominated industry, I'm not disputing that, and this is not the the sex-based kind of comment. But I am really, really feeling the need to address from the woman perspective, from the woman side, because we can do this as well. There is people in the world that they argue about this, and I do not agree with this, and I can tell you why. Because there is no such a thing as a racism, sex gender, racism, the color. We do not believe in any of this. So for me, this is very, very clear that you cannot be judged because you are a man or woman and you're doing this or job of that. This is 1952. Hello, people, we're in 2020, and the biggest challenge for me as a female is to portray this and to recognize the females in this industry, because I had the wonderful pleasure to meet a really, really strong, independent, powerful, and very, very educated woman that, excuse me to say this, some of the men, it's far away. It's definitely far away. So for me, it's a really great challenge, but at the same time, pleasure to feel and to see those very, very like-minded women, and to to meet them and share the experiences and learn, because I do not stop learning. Every day I learn something. And I'm not the person that's saying I know everything. I've done everything. I've done many wonderful things in my life, but I haven't done them all. And I don't want to do them all. I want a journey, right? So events, we are specializing and really focusing in the very different kind of events involved in the fashion, which is very close to my heart as well. The music, the art, the education, a lot of things that unite us as the community. And our members do appreciate that, because we have a chance to get involved with them on the personal level. So it's not only the transaction, it's not only the dispense of the product, it's not only the cold business side, because
No, you become a family.
Exactly. And to do that inside the house, as I'm saying, it gives me the most wonderful pleasure out of it. Because it's real. You see those real people, you speak to them, you understand them. After the 6 months of, for example, knowing the person, you develop this kind of relationship inside of the boutique, that you know their preferences, you know their family names, you know their dog names, you know their vacations, I mean, it's real, it's lovely. And I really, really thrilled on this part, because I love people and people loves me. And this is what I do. This is what I do.
You're like a master mingler.
Yes, I like you saying the mingler, but the master thing, I'm not there yet. And but the title is master is the word that it requires a lot of practice, right? And as my daughter 4 years old says, "Mommy, practice makes perfect."
You're not far from it, doesn't it? Don't they say that it's 11 years to become an expert of something?
I wouldn't put that with the age or with the years, because that's only the number. It depends on the progress. It depends on the progress of yourself, of the ability to learn quick enough or to experience quick enough. We all in the journey, and that's the beautiful part, is the journey.
It really is. It really is. If you want to start a cannabis social club, what are the challenges that are pretty hard that you've learned from working in it, that if you, let's say, you would start doing it again, that you would be okay, this is something that you forget easily as a beginner, think of this?
Bureaucracy is number one in Catalonia, I'm afraid. I will start from the negative point. There's many things in Catalonia is done very differently than I know, or my husband knows from Holland experiences or from London experiences. Here is another little twitch. If you're not ready, if you're not hard enough to knock on those doors, and when they close and you go again, is not the easiest one. Catalonia is not the easiest one to operate in any business, if to be honest. So leave the cannabis out of it, But the consistency in, obviously, like in any industry, wherever you do, you need to believe it first of all yourself. So once you believe yourself, there's many obstacles. We can do it. We can come over it. Where's the will? If there's a strong enough will, if there's a strong enough passion and the vision within yourself, you're going to achieve it. No matter what they say. How many people didn't believe in us? How many people told us otherwise? How many people said we are crazy? How many people said it's not going to happen?
Exactly. And if we would listen to that, we would just sit in the sofa at home, right?
Exactly. And the sofa at home wasn't my option. So here we are.
I hear you, babe. Dear listeners, if you like what you hear, please check out my Patreon. The link is in the description here below. Only if you're able to, of course. Now, let's get back to our guest. What was your initial relationship with cannabis? When was the first time you tried it?
Cannabis, it's always been pretty special part in my life. Obviously, the tolerance grows within, as you like. But the actual first experience in the cannabis, obviously, it wasn't in the social regulated club. It was in the street, I think most of us have had this experience. And I'm pretty curious myself as a person, right? I really like to try things. interest me, so I'm not disputing what way is a good or bad. We're not saying what is a good or bad for you, but the cannabis always been on my to-do list, if you like, you know what I mean. And being in my early teens, and obviously the Lithuania is not a place to start cannabis after the Soviet Union days, where we've been to, in the history, in the down of the history lane. That was in my late teens, in the school days. After the school, somebody had in the street the joint, in the group of the girls and boys. And I tried it. I got high. I got home. I slept for like 12 hours. My mother didn't understand what happened, and and that was that. And then obviously, the London experience, as a little part of start being adult, the university days, in the university campus, you try all sorts of things. So it's like it's got introduced to me. And I'm very, very fortunate and happy that I never had bad experiences, because this is a crucial point where people, particularly these days, they go into Amsterdam and they try and give me the highs, the biggest, the God knows what, and then they take a bad trip, and then that's it. This is not for me. I don't know. I'm scared. This is very, very sensitive point that people should understand. They need to research. They need to understand, because we can share the same joint together, and I go sleep and you go dance. So let's understand that moment, that it's not general. It's so individual. The cannabis is so individual. So to shorten the story, that was my teen days, then university, and then obviously I got myself deeply involved when I moved to Holland, and then started from there. And past couple years, I am deeply involved in the CBD. I use that for sure as not only for the recreational, it's for sure for the medicinal purposes. I do not take, in my bedside cabinet, I do not have any pharmaceutical drugs, such as aspirin or pills for the headache or Nurofen, anything like that. I'm not going to say it's a good, bad or whatever. I'm just saying I'm not using it. And the 3 drops in the morning after the breakfast of the full spectrum, that's how I start my day. And in the evening, I use the remedy for the sleep as well. Generally, I do not suffer from insomnia or anything like that. But it's just a really, really nice way to drift away and to have a full night's sleep. So I never get tired. I never, people wake up, at 8 a.m., I give them a call or whatever that is, social or business call. I'm so tired. After, I don't know, 3 years, I don't know, I'm not tired. I'm not. I'm full of energy. I'm not tired. I never tired.
Oh, that's good for you.
So, for sure. Exactly. It's good for me because that's how my body works, either with the THC or the CBD. My tolerance is very, very dependable as well. If you do not consume THC for the certain days or certain months, you know what that happens when it goes down pretty quickly and then you have to build up again. So combination between the CBD for the day use and I do for the THC consumption, I choose dabs. I prefer the purity and I prefer the effect for the recreational purposes of THC using in the.
I never dabbed actually. Is it more like, because you're not combusting as it's not burning, but is it more like vaping in?
Well, it depends. You can, for example, such a device as a Puffco. You can put the dab. The Puffco is a device that you can use in the vaporizing way. So it's the same method. So it's like a smart rig, you put the product in, you heat it, they're going to choose the temperature, depends on the product. And then vibration comes and then you take a dab. And then you can have in the traditional torch way, where is the heat. As I call it, the lady dabs always like the low temperatures because men always heats up until the rig is black. That's not for me. The heat, I do believe there is many different goodness is burnt out using the very high temperatures, but that's another a separate talk. But yes, I suggest you to try it in your own time, in your own space, obviously with the research information. And maybe we can do it together when we meet next time.
Do you know what? I might try it. I might save it and try it until I come visit the Green Boutique.
Amazing. That would be a very great occasion. And in the Green Boutique, included myself, or we have a person in the team who is really specializing in this product and in the method to use this product, so he can give you full insight of what is what, and then you can choose what would you like to try.
Okay, that's awesome. Oh, I look forward to that. Because I will actually go. Me and my husband will go sometime this fall, because we still have the voucher from, when Spannabis was going to happen. So we wanted to come, but unfortunately it was cancelled, obviously.
It is, but do you know this information that the Spannabis 2020 is completely cancelled? The November 20?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
that is so sad.
I know it is very unfortunate, but is what it is, and we need to focus on what we have with us today and to make a most of it.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit about, because you are doing a lot of things also with like Fashion House Barcelona. Like, do you do a lot of collaborations with the Green Boutique and that, or is it something separate?
Fashion House Barcelona is a wonderful concept, and the lady itself, she's my dear friend of the 4 years. She's the founder of this online magazine, and actually they're publishing now the hard copy, so it's become a real in the audience hands. And we do collaborate for a perspective, because I'm the woman who's involved in the cannabis, and then obviously the soul and the as I call it, behind the curtains lady.
Okay.
And the fashion is being very very close to my heart as a hobby, as a passion, as from many feminist points, from the individuality is the way I express myself. And the fashion house, we done quite a few collaborations already with the Green Boutique, and it's not only valid for the ladies. We do such a collaborations, we organized the last community event that I felt that we had the need to come back together as a community after they let us out of the houses. So when the world kind of came back to its new normal, I'm not going to repeat that too many times, but we organized this wonderful event for our members. We took them in the secret location. Nobody knew where they're going. So we organized the shuttle bus, and the members hopped on. They didn't know where they're going, and they didn't know what's going to happen, but they knew they're going with the boutique.
Oh, so much fun.
So we organized in the secret location, outdoor, this like secret garden, lush garden, swimming pool, and many trees around us. It was a greenery. It was a perfect Green Boutique scenery. And we had a wonderful time. We had we tried many different products. We had a live DJ. We had art. We had a dance group. We had an urban style. I mean, we are really pleased that we achieved this as a sign for us to come back together, because we suffered enough and suffered very individually and at the same time together during these 3 months. And for us as an organization, I think was a vital, to do this for us and our community, because we're not going nowhere. We need to continue, and this is the best way we thought we should start to continue, if you know what I mean. And it was wonderful.
Yeah. To just gather everyone again.
Exactly. And, and just to be together, just to see each other faces and stuff was wonderful, because those days in the houses in Barcelona was pretty severe in terms of the regulations and then the requirements for not entering or going outside your houses, or not entering certain establishments like just a basic necessity shops or the pharmacy, was pretty intense. So for example, people from the south of Spain, they didn't experience this. They didn't see those kind of little bit intense moments during this quarantine time. But for us, we did enough. This is only the way, there's we're not going nowhere. I'm not sitting on the sofa. I don't want to. I sit on the sofa for 3 months, and I made this wonderful plans that we're doing it now. And the way I use the time, and I learned so much. I even can make empanadas. I can cook sushi. I can do many things. So we use the time, and in terms of being a negative, we had the choice to be a negative and sad and cry and be all these emotions. I'm a human being. I feel that. I'm not saying that I don't feel nothing, of course, but the anger and all those kind of things. But we're not going anywhere with it. We're not doing anything with it. So it's better to convert all this negativity and all this bad emotions and bad things, because it's not depend on us. Look, the world is closed for 3 months, and what we're gonna do? We're not gonna scream and shout in the street. Doesn't matter how much we're gonna scream and shout. There's nothing gonna happen. So individually and as a community, I think for us was very, very important to come back together, and was wonderful time. My highlight from that, we definitely all needed that. And was a great success.
Damn, I wish I was there. It looked so nice. It really looked like one of these, really classy parties that are also really fun. You see what I mean? Like, you can have a classy party that, sometimes looks boring. But this, like you said, you had the dancers and stuff. It really made everything very lively and something that you want to come back to after a lockdown like we had for March to May.
That's the need. That was the aim. We needed this. It's not only just event, it's more than an event. It was much more, because that first comeback was a crucial for all of us.
Definitely. So, darling, I have a last question. What did your parents or your family say when you said that, hey, I'm starting a cannabis social club in Spain?
My mother said, you're off your head.
Seriously?
You're off your mind, darling, she said. Off your mind. I said, I am not, mother.
Did she know that you were smoking before?
She said, it's too much of indica. I said, no, mama, it's not indica, it's me. So obviously my parents had a smooth introduction, I would say. That wasn't become as like a shock or some kind of deep dark secret. Was a holdback, I must admit. Was a holdback. And not to have that support from the people you love, that was the hardest part. But as we said with my husband, we have each other, we believe in the same goal, let's do it. They like it or they don't, let's do it. And we did it.
Have they been there?
Yes.
What do they think?
Wonderful. My father was actually pretty impressed, because he could not understand the concept actually in reality, the way because they've been in part of the journey, when, for example, construction was going on, my father, they frequently fly into Barcelona because to see the granddaughter, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And he was a part of the journey when the construction was going on, when the planning, when all those kind of things. So he was close. He's seen it. But when the result and everything came together, he was pleasantly surprised, I must say. But he enjoyed it. My mother she wasn't in the boutique yet. She's not in boutique yet. She never visited yet.
Okay.
But she's online. She's very, very IG obsessed and activist and whatever.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. So it's all good. But to answer to your question, like in the nutshell, is you're off your mind, because they don't see that possibility. They don't see that is possible, which is for us, it's opposite. It's so real. You just do it.
There's so many possibilities as well, opportunities, yeah.
Exactly. So if you close the doors and put yourself in this kind of box that it's all in our minds, we are the ones who are saying, no, it's not possible. It's not that. It's not because we don't want to. That's it. It's very simple. There's nothing is impossible. Where's the will? There's the way. If you want it, you will do it. Of course. What is easy? You know, people say, oh, how easy or difficult. I wouldn't want it if it would be easy, because easy comes, easy goes. This is the life principle, you know? So no easy things I've done in my life. And I'm very, very fortunate and very glad that I never seen the easy ways as an option for me, because there's nothing easy. There's nothing easy. So, yeah, going back on the parents thing, that I think that the biggest challenge for them was, for me, they didn't see the possibility. They didn't believe that is possible.
Okay, yeah. No, I can imagine also that generation, you know.
Exactly. My mother is a 74 and my father is a 72. And they are blessed and fortunate that they still have a health. And they're using the CBD drops. Oh, we can talk about that another day. They involved, yes, till the certain degree, because there are some things is not for them. And I appreciate that. And I respect that. All good. All is good. All is good in the hood.
That's cool. All is good in the hood.
Yes.
Do you know what we should do then? Like when I come to Barcelona, we should do some, I don't know, maybe we can do some like fun, nice video and maybe like a live from the Green Boutique, you know, where we just sit and like talk and smoke and something. That would be fun, no?
Of course. Maybe we can even do the first dab experience during the live. So we can get the people involved in terms of sharing the experience. And I'm sure there's a people who never had a dab, especially the ladies.
Definitely. Dude, how exciting.
I am excited already, and I'm a very visual person. I already see what we're going to do, and I already see where we're going to do. It's wonderful.
I can also imagine, and I already know what we're going to wear. Like it's that part.
For sure.
I'm
already done in my mind. That's it. But this is what...
I got the nail polish, the makeup, everything.
Full works. And the fashion house will come in, we're going to do the makeup, the nails, all of it. We're going to be a wonderful...
Oh, nice.
That's it. This is the vision. This is the vision that I'm trying to explain to the people, that has to come in our minds first. You have to give birth inside of your mind in order to achieve, because your mind is materializes. It comes reality, because no project, no corporations, no one is happen out of the blue. It happens in people's heads at the beginning.
Definitely.
And you know, when they say, what is your dreams? I dream every day and I will never stop. I dream every day. I really do. Daydreaming. I love daydreaming, you know?
Oh, yes, do it all the time.
That's what it happens. And once again, where's the will, there's the way. There's no other way around it for me. That's it.
And if something doesn't happen, like let's say you have a vision of something and it doesn't happen, it's fine.
Of course. But if there's no vision first, there's no way. You know, there's nothing to grab onto. There's nothing to develop. There's nothing to achieve. So
right. Well, then I'm gonna let you go back to your lovely day.
Thank you, darling. I love this. I love this talk.
Same here.
The way the conversation evolved, and I do believe what I say, and I say what I do believe. And for all the cannabis community, we need people with alike minds, right? I do respect and do appreciate our individualities, but if there's so many colors in the rainbow, we must find some similarities and some attributes that we can relate to each other.
Yeah.
And all cannabis community as a community worldwide is pretty strong in my knowledge and my experience. And I just want to continue bit by bit. And, you know, every single step we do as individual and the community, it brings us together even closer. So I would say I would like to finish this wonderful conversation with a thought about us as a unity, us as a community, and without being, you know, horrible, nasty. There's so many horrible, horrid things going on in the world that it really, really makes me want even more, you know, all these negative things, all this crap, if I can say this, all this negativity, really, it drives me even bigger and louder, and I won't stop.
Yeah. No.
And we shouldn't stop. We shouldn't give up our dreams, or we shouldn't give up because somebody don't believe you. Even your own mother tells me that I'm off my head. No, darling, dear mother, I'm not off my head. I am me. Let me be me. And that's what we should respect and share with other people. You know, we can meet halfway. We don't have to agree on everything we do and what we say. It's a sensitive matter, but the respect and the ability to give that person opportunity to be himself is priceless.
Definitely. Very well said. Awesome, darling. Well, talk to you soon. And thank you so much for joining.
Talk to you soon. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, babe.
Thank you, darling. Kisses. Mwah.
Have a great afternoon. Mwah.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my social channels and rate this podcast. And if you would like to support me a little bit extra, it would really mean the world to me. So check out my Patreon profile that I linked in the episode description. It's all thanks to your support that I can continue talking, writing, recording, and making more cannabis content for you and our amazing community. Have an awesome day and lots of love.